since Larry Bird retired. But now they're back in the postseason against a familiar foe, the 76ers. In the days of Russell and later Bird, against Chamberlain and later Dr. J and company, it seemed like these two franchises had a standing postseason appointment. They met 10 times in the playoffs from the mid-60s to the mid-80s. This is the first time the rivalry has been renewed in the postseason, though, since 1985. Fleet Center already jumping with Mike Dunleavy. I'm Bob Costas. First item of business. Allen Iverson has been cleared to play. He practiced the last couple of days, and he will start today. He missed the last 14 games of the regular season. Philadelphia managed to win half of them. This after Iverson broke his left hand here at the Fleet Center against the Celtics on March 22nd. But during the 3.5 games he played in the regular season against Boston, he was an absolute terror, exceeding even his own usual standard.
Well, Bob, if Allen Iverson, the reigning MVP of the NBA, is anywhere near up to health form in this game today, these Boston Celtics had better watch out. He averaged 36 points a game during their series on the year while shooting 55% in their 3 victories, mainly because of Boston's lack of shot blocking ability. They are number 28th in the league. I expect to see Iverson overly aggressive today, attacking the rim, see him get by one defender here. Secondly, attacking again, using the rim as his help here. If he attacks successfully, look for it to set up his outside game. And if both of these parts of his game are going together, look for a 50-point explosion from Allen Iverson today.
Well, he had a couple of 50-point games in the playoffs a year ago against Toronto, then went for 48 in game 1 of the finals against the Lakers. So especially in the postseason, he looks to turn it up. Meanwhile, Paul Pierce of the Boston Celtics has developed into one of the league's best all-round players. He actually led the league in total points, but since the scoring championship is computed on the basis of average points per game, he's third in that category behind Iverson and Shaq, but his all-round game is very impressive.
Well, Bob, I don't know if there's an all-around player in this league that's any better or has improved as much as he has over the last few years. Paul Pierce has the ability to shoot 3-pointers with range, 40%. He's got the ability to post up and take contact. He gets himself to the free throw line where he's a very good free throw shooter, and he finishes above the rim. What more can you say about a guy like Paul Pierce?
Nothing more to say except to take note of the numbers which indicate his all-round ability. And with Antoine Walker being anything but bashful, between Pierce and Walker, the Celtics lead the league by far in 3-point attempts. Should be an up and down and high-scoring affair here. And we're back to check the lineups and have the opening tip in a minute. It's advanced, it's roomy, it's the Accord. By Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. By NikeBasketball.com. And by NBA Playoffs 2002. Love it live. Audio. Hello, now I got myself.
I'm here.
Philadelphia won 3 out of 4 during the regular season against the Celtics. Philly, the number 6 seed in the East, but the defending Eastern Conference champion. And a very dangerous team now that they're primarily healthy come playoff time. Matt Harpring is their only starter who wasn't plagued by injuries during the course of the season. The rest missed considerable stretches of time. Let's check with Andrea Joyce before tip-off.
All right, Bob, I just spoke to Allen Iverson a short time ago. How excited is he to be back out here? He told me he feels like a kid on Christmas morning. Meantime, on the Celtics side, Antoine Walker also playing with a heavily wrapped injury. He has a sprained left thumb. It's been bothering him for the last 2 weeks. It is not an issue right now of injuring it any further. It's just a matter of pain tolerance. And he says, he told us yesterday that it is still swollen and it is giving him some trouble, but he expects that the momentum of his first playoff game will take over, even though he does expect to be in considerable pain this afternoon. Back to you guys.
All right, Andrea, thanks very much. The Celtics won 8 of their last 9 and 18 of their last 24. Without Iverson, the Sixers began this season 0-5. They were 12-18 at one point. before pulling it together and eventually claiming the 6th seed. The seedings don't mean much in this series. In fact, the lower seed won 3 out of 4 head-to-head.
Well, Bob, the Philadelphia 76ers are the last team in the NBA East that I would want to open up against. With their playoff experience and their defensive mindedness, they are going to be a tough opponent here for the Celtics.
Steve Javie is the lead official, working with Sean Corbin and Tom Washington. For the first time in 7 years, they're playing postseason basketball in NBA Mad Boston. The tip to the Sixers. Iverson wastes no time.
Well, he's got that for him. That was a great play, but great pass by Derek Coleman.
Iverson on Kenny Anderson as he brings it to the front court. Anderson leaning in to tie the game.
Well, you know, the biggest question for Larry Brown today is going to be Allen Iverson's conditioning and how he plays defense. You can look to see Boston trying to exploit him right away.
Eric Snow. Snow's shot is long, and the rebound to Tony Battie. Antoine Walker.
Walker using his great ability to take people off the dribble and finish around the rim. He starts out, you know, the three-point line, top of the key, draws your defender out and goes right by him. And Boston's lack of a shot block. I mean, Dikembe Mutombo pulled out of the paint. Wasn't there to block the shot.
Iverson fouled as he let it go.
Well, this is a great start for Iverson. You see on his first shot here in the game, Coleman, 3 defenders around him, finds Iverson. He gets this medium-range jump shot. It's got to be a great feeling for a scorer to hit your first open jump shot. And then your second one, you get bailed down. You get to get your rhythm at the free throw line.
The foul was on Kenny Anderson. With Iverson as the main man, the Sixers are a strange team. They have the league's leading scorer, and yet overall they're 26th in the league in team scoring, and they're next to last in assists. Only Houston averaged fewer assists per game, but they're a strong team on the offensive glass. So though Iverson shoots a low percentage for a guy who scores more than 30 points a game, they often are able to clean up on second chances.
Well, he's always in attack mode, and so he draws a lot of defenders to him, which opens it up for the other guys to get some easy shots. See Mutombo playing way off of the tee.
And a miss like that will encourage him to keep doing it. Iverson around a screen set by Coleman, returns it to him. He thought about a 3, moves in a bit, and it spins out. Paul Pierce knocked away by Eric Snow. Still Celtic ball. Tied at 4 after less than 2 minutes.
The Celtics are going to try and put Iverson and Mutombo in a bunch of pick and rolls. That's one of their weak points.
Eric Williams with his first touch gives the Celts the lead. The game's first 3-pointer. It won't be the last.
Boston pretty much is playing about a 1-2-2 zone on Philly right now.
Eric Snow, who picked up his offensive contribution in Iverson's absence, averaging better than 16 while Iverson was sidelined, hits that one.
So he really carried them through a good portion of their wins while Iverson was out by making, not only did he put up big numbers, but he made really big shots for this team.
Matt Harpring picks up his first.
Now, interesting lineup here is you've got Harpring on Pierce because of the size factor. We understand that. But then you have Williams being guarded by Snow, which is Williams is a pretty good low post player.
Mutombo from beyond his usual range. Rebound to Pierce.
Philly may be trying to get Boston to bite on that and play against with Williams in the low post.
But team misses off the baseline, and Harpring has it for Philly. 6 on the shot clock. Mutombo looked for the hook, and he was hacked.
You know, that was too bad from the Boston standpoint because Mutombo really didn't have great low post position. That was going to be a long hook, and he got really bailed out on this play. You see, he's 2 feet outside the paint and doesn't even put the ball on the floor. I mean, that would have been a very tough shot. It was going to be a contested shot.
The foul was on Pierce, his first. Mutombo, 8-time All-Star, 4-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, misses the first.
Well, you know, Mutombo, you can guarantee he's going to be there just about every night, and he's going to get you a double-double. It's quite a luxury to have a player like that on your team, as well as the shot blocking aspect of his game, which may be the best.
At age 35, he averaged 11 rebounds and 11.5 points per game. Nice pass inside.
Terrific pass by Walker. He had the smaller man on his hip after getting a good screen, and then when the other defender came to help, he found the cutter right to the hole.
Walker to Williams, and the Celtics lead by 2. Coleman can't tie it. Walker in the paint.
You know, I like that move by Walker. He stopped at that three-point line. He hasn't been very successful against the 76ers on the season. He looked at it, drew the defender out, then he attacked the rim again. He's had 2 really nice drives to the basket for scores. For the season against the Sixers, Walker's shooting percentage and points per game way down. So he's taking a different approach early here. Iverson again will come to the foul line. You know, and again, it's Kenny Anderson, his second. Kenny Anderson isn't known as a great defender, so you'll see him, Iverson trying to attack him. Great move here by Walker. He loves the spin move, gets into the paint where it's in great range for him, and a nice finish over the top. Mutombo never had a chance to get to him. You know, getting back to Anderson getting his second foul, and that's kind of tough because Kenny's had a great year for them. But Eric Strickland may better be equipped to defend Allen Iverson.
And here is Strickland. Anderson sitting with the 2 fouls. 1 of 2 for Iverson at the line. Celtics by 3.
I mean, Iverson's had 3 shots in this game and scored 5 points.
Pierce inside to Williams, now Batiste.
Oh, nice pass by Williams. When Mutombo came over to block the shot, Williams made a nice pass to find Batiste underneath the rim. Again, Boston packed it in this 1-2-2 look.
Iverson. Rebound Batiste.
Iverson took a stab in the backcourt, sets up this open opportunity right here for Boston. Strickland just didn't finish it.
Here's Pierce cutting in front of Iverson for the steal. Strickland the pull-up. Fast pace here early in the first quarter. Snow pulls up.
That's his shot. He loves that elbow jumper, and he loves to get to that spot and fake his defender into the air and draw fouls from it also.
The lob for Pierce from Walker.
It's one of their favorite plays in go-to time. They love to give the ball to Walker at the top of the key and then flash Pierce in with his body, and then Walker will throw him a lob pass right over the top of the defender.
Coleman in traffic, bumped and fouled.
The transition, Snow pulls up right there at that elbow. He loves that shot, and he's very good at making it right there. And again, Pierce gets the lob from Walker. Great pass over the top with no defenders around him for an easy lay-in.
Foul was on Eric Williams, his first. Derek Coleman has played well in his second tour of duty with Philadelphia. He's been very good defensively in the 4 regular season games against Antoine Walker. And you notice with Walker by far leading the NBA in 3-point attempts, Coleman is right up on him beyond the 3-point line defensively.
Well, you know, Coleman has a lot of versatility, a lot of mobility, and he's got very long arms, which is necessary to defend a 3-point shooter. You're able to be up on him, yet be far enough off to try and play him off the dribble. Although today, Walker and the rest of the Celtics have been very aggressive to go to the rim on Mutombo.
Strickland, deflected by Iverson. Rodney Rogers picked it up. Eric Williams from the baseline.
You know, Iverson made a great defensive play there, and in a loose ball, they just didn't come up with it, and Celtics capitalized on it.
Eric Williams, who averages 6.5, has scored 7 in the first 6 minutes of the game.
Well, you're always looking to get that contribution. Right here, he comes Rodney Rogers finding Williams in the corner for a wide open jumper.
It's the Celtics by 5 with 5:57 on the first quarter clock.
Since the Celtics made that trade acquiring Rodney Rogers and Tony Delk from the Phoenix Suns, they think they're playing their best basketball of the year. The reason for getting these two players is to be able to stretch the floor. Both are excellent three-point shooters, and they want to be able to put other teams' big men away, take them away from the basket, and have to guard them on the outside. Both these guys are also the leaders on the Celtics as far as playoff games played.
Rodney Rogers, the NBA's 6th man of the year with the Suns 2 seasons ago. And an important component in Coach Jim O'Brien's postseason plan.
Well, they've only
Tony Delk, for the moment, a spectator.
Well, the Celtics have only played the 76ers one time since the trade, and they won that game, so that's their story, and they're sticking to it.
Down by 5, Sixers with the ball after the timeout. Walker on Coleman, and he's stripped by Williams from behind. They give it right back. Harpering on the wing for the pull-up.
Wow, that was a big possession for the Celtics. They had the good momentum, and it's a 4-point swing for them. Guys, see, Strickland came out of that play and didn't know that out of the huddle, and that play was for him.
Pierce, 4 on the shot clock, forced to let it go, a miss and a foul on the rebound.
Walker getting caught up in the air, turns the ball over, and an opportunity for the Celtics. Now the 76ers get out into the open court where they have an opportunity to get an easy basket, something that they're not accustomed to. And Iverson likes that. He ran the floor, drew a defender away, and got Harper in that open jump shot.
After the Pierce miss, Eric Williams fouled Eric Snow on the rebound. The Celtics are already over the limit with 5:02 to play in the first quarter. Snow to the line. Williams out with the 2 fouls. The visitors have been to the line now for 10 attempts after this one by Snow, and they've made 8 of them. Celtics haven't shot a free throw yet.
Here you see Philadelphia extending their defense a little bit, trying to take some of this half-court look away from the Celtics. Two-man game with Walker and Pierce.
Pierce misses the jumper. Iverson has the rebound. Strickland. Iverson gets it away and hits it.
You know, I'll tell you what I liked about that last play was the fact that Iverson threw the ball ahead to Harpering, and Harpering, after touching it, drew the defense and threw it right back to Iverson.
Strickland was right up on him too, but Iverson was able to shake him free for the shot. Pierce for 3. Coleman on the glass. Sixers up by 1. Iverson is coming to the foul line again.
Well, he gets away from Strickland by taking a step-back move for the sweet jump shot. And then here he is in the open court again, getting bailed out. I mean, Strickland gets him right on the elbow. A guy like Iverson, putting him at this free throw line, you're setting yourself up for a big day.
Anderson picked up 2 quick fouls and went out. That's number 1 on Strickland, who's guarding Iverson now.
Well, Iverson's numbers, look at this. I mean, first game 37, 47, 28, and 22. And in one of those games when he was injured, that 22 came in the first half.
Phillies now on an 8-0 run, and they lead 20-17. Antoine Walker's gone out. Tony Battie back in for the Celtics.
Well, now it also allows Mutombo to go back to Battie and then play a guy in Corey Blount that can get out on the floor and play Rodney Rogers with 3-pointers.
Here's Strickland, ending a Celtic drought and pulling them back to within 1. So Corey Blount and Aaron McKee are in the game off Larry Brown's bench.
Boston's doing a really good job of fronting the post and not letting Mutombo get a touch.
McKee's first shot is a miss. He's got it back.
Looks like these Philadelphia big guys, if they want to get in the scoring column, they're going to have to do it off the offensive boards.
Well, that's often the story for Philadelphia. Mutombo had it swatted away. He looked for a foul call, didn't get it. Pierce guarded by Snow. Backs him in. Turn around. It'll count if it drops. 2 shots coming for him. But first a timeout with 2:54 to play in the first quarter. The 76ers up by 1. After Battie resoundingly rejects. Allen Iverson off to a good start. There's no doubt that he possesses athletic courage and toughness. Look at all the injuries he has played through during the course of his career. An interesting game, considering this history, would be to try to find a part of Iverson's anatomy that isn't bruised, bandaged, or tattooed.
Well, most guys go through a whole 10 or 15 years without that many injuries.
Let's go to Andrea Joyce for more.
Well, Bob, this could be one of the keys to Iverson's effectiveness today. It's something they call orthogel. It's about a ½ inch thick. They literally glue it right on the back of his hand to protect the injured area. Now, he asked Iverson if he was worried about playing with something like this, all this padding on the back of his hand, and he said no. The only time he actually uses the back of his hand during a game is to slap his teammates. So I guess we won't see any of that today.
Perhaps not. You can't be 100%
We hope
sure.
not. Although you never know. You know, Pierce needs to get off into the free throw line, might help him.
He's hit just 1 of 5 field goals so far. Makes both free throws to give the Celtics the lead again. Pierce with the steal, intercepting Snow's pass. Here's Rogers on the run, contact. Which way does the call go? He'll take it away.
You know, Pierce did a good job advancing the ball right there to Rogers, but he got out of control. He had on the other wing, he had McCarty run on the other wing, and he was wide open underneath the basket.
Position established, offensive foul on Rogers, no basket.
Snow did a great job of just standing in there and taking the blow.
Eric Snow on the drive, scoops it up. And the rebound protected by Antoine Walker.
Well, Boston's doing a great job of trying to attack.
Pierce is free for 3, but it's short.
Boston's really swarming the guys who are attacking the rim here today. Doing a good job of making these guys miss around the hoop.
Walter McCarty is in the game now for the Celtics, guarding Eric Snow on this possession. Iverson in traffic, undeterred, he swishes it.
I think he may be off. I mean, he's got an unbelievable amount of confidence going for him right now. It's going to be a long day for the Celtics.
He scored 11. Inside, and Walker's free.
That was a great pick by McCarty. The Sixers did not help on the bump and got Walker wide open there.
Contact between Iverson and Strickland gets up, hopping mad, knowing he's just picked up his second. He might get a technical, and he just did.
He had no chance of leaving this court without a technical foul.
It's frustrating to try and play defense against Iverson to begin with. Anderson 2 fouls, now Strickland 2 fouls in this first quarter, and Strickland couldn't restrain himself, and they tack on the tee.
You know, I've been on the other side of that. I understand his feelings, but I think both of those calls were excellent calls by Steve Jabby. On one end, Snow was positioned and took the charge. On this one, Strickland was still moving.
Some consolation for Strickland and the Boston fans as Iverson misses the technical. Jim O'Brien grew up in Philadelphia, went to high school there, attended college at St. Joseph's, admittedly hating the Boston Celtics and rooting for Wilt and then Dr. J and company and all those playoff series against the Celtics. In fact, when he first met Red Auerbach, he says his first sentence to Red was, "You don't know how much I grew up hating you." Now the coach of the Boston Celtics against the Philadelphia 76ers in this, the first playoff game he has ever coached as a head coach in the NBA, former Rick Pitino assistant.
When he's facing another guy on the other side, Larry Brown, has got 126 games of playoff experience.
And that's just in the NBA. He also coached a few dozen playoff games in the ABA.
Which you know all about.
Remember Larry in that league. And Tony Delk is now hit with an offensive foul, just having come into the game. The Celtics are the home team, but in this first quarter, the calls have not gone their way. Well, that's a good call, too. He definitely threw the elbow out there at Iverson.
He extended it away from his body, and Iverson felt it and played it off just right for the official.
Iverson from 20 feet.
Ouch.
He has
on a
15.
roll. You know, his shooting form looks so great right now. He's extended on his shot. He's getting good lift on his legs. I mean, conditioning has not played a part in this right now. Celtics' only hope is he wears down.
Pierce was fouled, and sarcastic cheers from the Fleet Center crowd as a whistle goes Boston's way finally.
Look at Iverson right here. Catches it, fully in rhythm, full extension, good lift off the ground, and nothing but net. And Pierce attacking, which he does very well also. Corey Blount reaches in, gets all part of his arm.
Less than a minute to play in the first. Iverson has scored 15 of Philly's 26 points. And Pierce brings the Celtics to within one. Speedy Claxton just in the game, brings it across for Philadelphia. Aaron McKee.
Oh, nice drawn kick right there. On the pass to Iverson, the defense is following the pass, and Iverson.
Pierce guarded by McKee. Coleman sneaking over to help. Pearson's shot drops, and there's a foul on the play.
And that is what he is so good at. He gets people off the ground, he takes the contact, and yet he's still able to finish. He may be the very best in the league at doing this.
Chance for a three-point play as Aaron McKee fouled him. If he hits the free throw, the game is tied.
Pierce has done a good job of getting his points out of the low post when those first couple of jumpers didn't go for him. Really a sign of a smart player.
Sixers can have the last shot if they want it. 11 seconds here. Iverson with a move on Delk, and Delk comes back to block it. 4 seconds to get a shot off. McCarty from just inside half. Oh! And it goes down!
Great recognition there. When Delk gave him the ball, he looked up at the clock. Nothing but net.
Well, the Celtics lead the league in three-pointers, but this is not exactly the sort of three they usually have in mind. But with no time on the clock, McCarty gives them the lead after one in a quarter just about as wide open as we expect the entire series to be, 31-28. If you're against McCarty in a game of horse, I'm pretty sure right now you got an H. The Celtics appeared to make a concerted effort to take their game inside in the first quarter. But with no time on the clock, McCarty unleashes this three from just inside the half-court line and gives the Celtics the lead at the end of one. The point here is that the Celtics by far led the NBA in both three-pointers made and three-pointers attempted. Antoine Walker actually tried 117 more threes than the second most prolific three-point shooter in the league, Ray Allen. So their game for most of the regular season was largely behind the three-point line. In the first quarter, it looked as if they were going away from that a little bit. And of course, the end of quarter shot is just a function of circumstance. And this time they got lucky and it went in.
Well, I think they've been trying to get Pierce off in the low post against the smaller Philadelphia guards. Now he's got to deal with Derek McKee, who's another story.
Here's Pierce on the drive and a Philly foul.
But again, his great versatility, he notices he's got a bigger guy on him than McKee. He doesn't post him up. He takes him out on the floor and then attacks the rim, takes him off the dribble.
On the 76ers, number 34, Paul Pierce at the line. He'll shoot.
Sixers have both McKees in the game. Aaron McKee, number 8. Derek McKee, number 9, just came in and picked up the foul.
Well, Pierce, these numbers, I mean, total points in the league, number 1, that's tremendous. Total free throws, second in the league. Points, I mean, this guy is so well-rounded as a scorer. I mean, the numbers are just tremendous.
He makes one of two. The Celtics lead by 4. Speedy Claxton, way short. McCarty, a more conventional three. Maybe that's inside his range.
He may even move back on that one.
Iverson, a brief breather at the start of the second quarter. He led the NBA in average minutes played per game.
He must be chained down right now, Allen Iverson.
You know how restless he gets when he sits for even a minute.
I mean, this guy wants to play every minute of every game.
Philly turned it over. Claxton thought the Celtics had knocked it away, but apparently it grazed his foot before it went out. They give the ball to Boston. Pierce backs up for 3.
That low post game, those free throws, going to get his outside shot going now.
After a slow start, he has 13. Celtics by 7. The defender falls down, and Aaron McKee is open for the jumper.
Pierce a little slow getting up off that screen.
Contact in the front court. A Philadelphia foul. Speedy Claxton's first.
Pierce is talking the bench a little bit. Something's bothering him.
Walker into the lane. A hook that was an ill-advised shot, surrounded by 3 defenders. Aaron McKee back, and he loses it. Walker racing with Coleman. The follow from McCarty.
You know, Speedy Claxton did a great job of making Walker miss that shot. And McCarty did a great job of not taking it for granted he would make that layup. You love it when one of your players does that.
So McCarty has made his presence felt. McKee unleashes a long one. Coleman's on the offensive glass.
That was nice, a nice finish by Coleman. 3 Celtics around him, and all of them try to block his shot on that time.
Tony Delk. Coleman with the rebound. McCarty all over McKee.
Well, Derek should have shot that one right away.
Derek McKee winds up losing it. Philly gets it right back. Aaron McKee got it off in time to beat the shot clock. I guess they said Boston hadn't established possession. Here's McCarty.
Great pass ahead by Delk. Celtics had a 4-on-3 advantage. He found the open man, and McCarty attacked the rim.
Boston by 7. Coleman draws a crowd. Gets the shot off anyway. Tony Petit gives it up to Delk. Delk bypasses the jumper and snaps a pass inside to Petit, who is fouled.
Boy, the Celtics are on a nice run right here. Pierce gets it going from the outside with a 3. Then they get attack the rim where Walker gets a good follow by McCarty. And again, McCarty in the open court, 4 against 3 with a nice finish. Jimmy O'Brien loves to see them get out in the open court, get these easy buckets.
They lead it by 7. The Feeling by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. And by McDonald's, we love to see you smile. Allen Iverson definitely not smiling at this point, still on the bench, as he has been since the start of this second quarter, and Boston has outscored Philly in this stretch 8-4.
Well, he's had a great day. They've all been from the outside. This mirage defense the Celtics talk about playing, about zoning up the basket, has forced him to the outside, but you would never know this guy has been out as long as he's been out, the way he's shooting the ball today. Every one of his shots from the outside, and the biggest factor here is the fact how many times he's been bailed out on jump shots to get to the free throw line.
Now he's back off his seat and returning to the lineup with 8:30 to play in the second quarter. If Tony Petit makes both of these free throws after being fouled by Derek McKee, in effect, the Celtics will have outscored the Sixers 10-4 with Iverson out. He's on the floor right now, but the foul which led to these free throws occurred while he was out of the lineup. Let's check in with Andrea Joyce.
All right, Bob, during that last timeout, Larry Brown implored his players to slow it down, get control, and concentrate. Back to you.
All easier said than done, huh?
Yeah, this is a fast-paced ball game right here, and I mean the Celtics are a great steals team in this league, so you're going to have that, as well as you got on the other side. You got Iverson, the #1 steals guy in the league. So I mean the combination of the two, as much as they steal the ball and get into the open court, you're going to have this kind of up and down, I think, for this whole series.
Tony Delk almost had the steal there, knocking it away and out of bounds. Still Philadelphia ball. With all those defensive numbers improving for Boston, part of the credit has to go to the veteran assistant Dick Harder, a defensive specialist over there on Jim O'Brien's bench. They forced them to take a shot like that at the end of the 24-second clock. Then unfortunately for the Celtics, there's Harder. Unfortunately for the Celtics, they didn't get the rebound. It goes off of them and out of bounds, so Philly gets a fresh 24. But Snow took a long 3 because the Boston defense had denied them a better look.
You know, what Philadelphia needs to do is they have to put a three-point shooter on the weak side corner to be able to take advantage of Boston packing it in the way they are.
Kenny Anderson back in, guarding Iverson. Mutombo around the perimeter. Aaron McKee. McKee lets it go and hits it for 3. Aaron McKee was the 6th man of the year last season. He was hurt a lot this year, and in fact he played in only one of the regular season games against Boston.
And you got Mutombo with this matchup here with Rodney Rogers. You see where Rodney Rogers is located. He's going to be above that three-point line the whole time, trying to open that middle for the rest of the Celtics.
Foul on Aaron McKee, his second. One more, and the Sixers are over the limit in this period. For now, Boston ball at the side. Anderson on the drive.
Again, set up by the pick and roll with Rodney Rogers. Mutombo, thinking about Rogers, wasn't as aggressive to help out on Anderson on that play.
Celtics up by 8. Iverson, quick catch and shoot, blocked by Anderson. but Anderson picks up number 3.
I'll tell you what, that probably was a foul. If you're in the parks playing and you get ball first, guys be complaining about that one all day long. I mean, Kenny Anderson definitely got the ball before he had any contact with Iverson.
Kenny Anderson has logged 5 minutes of playing time and now has 3 fouls. And he sits again. 16 points for Iverson. He averaged 31.4 to lead the league. He's more than halfway to that with 17. There's still 7 and change remaining in the second quarter. Rodney Rogers with the 3.
Eric Williams set him up for a wide open look there. Mutombo's trying to help down the low post. He did a good job passing the ball out, giving him a good look.
Coleman, Mutombo, 3 on the shot clock, and a foul.
Well, Boston's doing a real good job in his zone of keeping the ball out of the inside, forcing the 76ers to pass the ball around the perimeter, and they're hesitating a little too much. The guy in the corner, in the weak side corner, is wide open. If they can skip past it and bypass the defender, they'll get some wide open looks.
Walter McCarty was hit with his first foul. He goes out. Paul Pierce, after a brief rest, is back in. McCarty did a whale of a job while he was in there. Iverson slithering through, and another whistle.
He may have taken a hit on that hand that time. They took a pretty good swipe at him off the dribble. Yeah, he got slapped on the right hand the first time and the left hand the second time.
Coleman, 5 seconds to shoot. Snow will overshot it from the head of the key, and the Sixers touch it last.
The Celtics know that the 76ers at time really struggle shooting the ball. They can go on runs of 10, 12, 13 times without making shots in a game, and they're forcing them to shoot the outside shot right now.
Pierce had it poked away, but a foul. And that's number 3 on Aaron McKee.
He just kept running to the bench. He knew what was going to happen here.
That brings Matt Harpring back as McKee has to sit. Pierce will go to the foul line. Back in 1998, the Philadelphia 76ers had the 8th pick of the draft. They took young Larry Hughes out of St. Louis University. He was a bad fit for them. He's now at Golden State. With the 9th pick, Milwaukee took Dirk Nowitzki. And with the 10th pick, the Celtics took this guy, Paul Pierce. So the Sixers could have done better with that pick at number 8. And he's off. Delp trying to follow. Harpring trying to save it. Try to diagram that play. Here's Iverson. Snow. And Mutombo to finally restore some order.
You know, that's the first inside play, easy play Philadelphia's gotten all day long.
Pierce leaning in and scoring.
He's got such great body control off the spins. He spins as well as anybody since the days of Earl Monroe.
17 now for Pierce, equaling Iverson's total. Poked away, and another Celtic steal.
Rogers wide open in the corner.
Pierce pulls up. Loose ball tipped to Iverson.
Out in front. Iverson missed him.
And Iverson will gun a three. Tony Delk out to Walker. Lines up a three.
Delk did a nice job of drawing the defense to him and kicking it out to a wide open Walker.
Timeout, Philadelphia. The Celtic lead is 11.
Pierce, what a great spin move here, getting Coleman up off his feet and then going between both Coleman and Mutombo for the finish. What a big finish that was. And then Delk on the drawn kick out to Walker. Nobody near him. Coleman drawn into the paint. And nothing but net. On the Celtic defense in the last couple of years, but right here, they're doing a great job of swarming Philadelphia in the paint. Here goes Coleman off the dribble. Weak side comes, gets a clean strip. Walker reaching in on the swarm. Here he comes on the fast break for the finish, where McCarty's the guy who finishes it off for him. The numbers are dramatic from last year, 25th to 5th in NBA rank as far as defensive turnaround. And the man mostly responsible for it, Jim O'Brien, and as well as Dick Harder.
Dick Harder, well-traveled assistant. Lots of noise now at the Fleet Center. Celtics, once a postseason perennial, now in the playoffs for the first time in 7 years. And the fans are ready for it. Here's Harpring. Rattles it down.
That is the shot that is open every time on the weak side on the quick swings, because the Celtics have 3 guys on the strong side at all times.
Sixers needed that. They still trail by 9. Pierce got some room.
But that was interesting. They went to the pick and roll, and Mutombo switched to Pierce. And as soon as Pierce saw that, his eyes lit up. He knew he could take him off the dribble.
19 now for Paul Pierce. Harpring again. Air ball, but right into the hands of Coleman. 5 on the shot clock. Snow has to get rid of it. Shoved back in his face. Walker against Coleman, takes him on the drive, and Mutombo slaps it out of there.
And here we see the pick and roll with Pierce and Rogers. Mutombo switching to Pierce. Pierce going to take him off the dribble, shake him, and bake him.
Harpring trying to contend with Pierce. That one's short. Mutombo flips it back into Iverson. Iverson cuts through half the Boston team and misses.
Mutombo's way behind Rogers right now.
Here's Pierce. Somebody's got to be open. It's Walker for 3. Rogers back taps it to Pierce. His three-pointer. That won't go. And Walker touched it last as it goes out. 2 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the first half. The Celtics up by 11. Okay, Ahmad, thanks a lot. We got to see a tape of both parts of the Pat Croce interview with Iverson last night. Interesting stuff. Part 2 at halftime. Iverson has shot the ball well from the field, and he's 9 of 11 from the free throw line. Larry Brown was making the point to us earlier today, even though Iverson generally shoots well below 50%, the key is what kind of misses does he shoot? If he gives the rest of the team time to come down and set up, then we're all over the offensive glass. It's not so bad. If he pulls the trigger too early in transition and misses, then we get hurt. Here's Mutombo with that sweeping hook.
That was one of the few low post possessions they've scored on, but even that one was not an easy shot for Mutombo.
Rodney Rogers, Mutombo giving him some room. His pass intended for Walker, picked off by Hartbrink. Iverson streaking into the front court. Coleman has to bring it back out. He finds Mutombo. There's the easy two.
Great pass by Coleman. You know, he's got as much talent as any power forward in this league. The ability to rebound, score, and pass the basketball.
A minute and a half remaining in the first half. Pierce cuts through two defenders, misses, volleyballed around, and Philly comes out with it. Iverson may have traveled, and he did.
You know, that may be one of those times with Iverson, you know, where he didn't have his steps together, timing issue.
But you could read his lips. He said, "That's 2 steps, man." I'm not so sure about that. Walker. Rebound Mutombo.
Right now, the Celtics need to take advantage of Rogers sitting out in the open with Mutombo trying to protect the paint.
Inside a minute. Hartbrink against Pierce. Count it, plus the foul.
That was a very Pierce-like move by Hartbrink in the low post. Good body control and good finish.
So now Philly making a push here toward the end of the first half.
Hartbrink hangs here, waits for Pierce to go down, then uses his left hand. That was a great play by Matt Hartbrink.
Matt Hartbrink will shoot one.
Three-point play, Philadelphia on a 7-0 run, cutting an 11-point deficit down to 4.
So again, using Rogers and Walker out on the outside.
Walker with the contact, offensive foul.
Hartbrink's done a great job the last 2 times down the low post, defending Walker one time and then Pierce the other.
The foul is Walker's first. Philadelphia gets the ball with 33 seconds remaining. They ask for a 20-second timeout and a chance to inch closer here. Coming up next, more playoff action. 2 games out west. First, Kevin Garnett, Wally Zerbiak and the Wolves against Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks, Michael Finley and all the rest. That's a good series there. Then Kobe, Shaq, and the defending champion Lakers host your former team coach, the Trailblazers.
Both those series, I think, are going to be, you know, really hotly contested. All 4 of those teams are very well matched.
How about the game Utah gave Sacramento last night?
Well, you know, as an 8th seed, I mean, you can never underestimate Utah Jazz with all that experience, and as long as they have Stockton and Malone there, you're always going to be at risk.
They just didn't seem to match up well against Sacramento. 0-4 against them in the regular season, and none of the games were close, but that one went right down to the last shot, and with some breaks, Utah could very well have stolen game 1. Rogers out on Snow, and the contact winds up costing Rodney a personal. That's his second.
Well, that foul is not a smart foul
for
Rodney Rogers. I mean, first of all, he had Snow pushed out almost over past the half-court line, and he stayed with it too long. I mean, Snow grabbed his leg right here. He could have been called for a hook also on the play, but Rodney kept moving his legs right into Snow, and that's I mean, at this point in the game with a 4-point lead, I mean, that's just a gift. As long as Snow will open the package, it'll be a gift.
Missed the first one, has one more coming. Allen Iverson goes to the bench, and Speedy Claxton comes in. Claxton at this stage a bit better defender, and you don't want to run the risk of Iverson picking up a foul on the last possession with 19 seconds remaining. And Snow missed them both, stalling Philadelphia's comeback here. Anderson pounding the dribble with 6 seconds now. 4 seconds to shoot. Rodney Rogers got to get it away. Rogers on the run, and a foul called with 0.4 of a second remaining.
Well, Rogers' bad foul at one end may turn into 2 points for the Celtics at the other.
And it was Speedy Claxton, the man who replaced Iverson, who's hit with the foul. Claxton's second. So Philadelphia had a chance to close to within 2 after trailing by 11. Snow missed them both. Rogers makes his first.
Returning to the Celtics lineup, Tony Delk.
Rogers can send the Celts to the locker room up 6, and he does. That's it. Paul Pierce is going to join Andrea Joyce in just a moment. And in fact, that moment is now. He scored 19 in the first half. Here he is with Andrea.
All right, thanks, Paul. Great first half for you offensively, but perhaps more importantly, what about the defensive effort you guys put out here?
I think we're doing a good job of controlling the offensive glass. That's an area where they hurt us in the past, and we get down in transition. And that's what we're going to have to continue to do throughout 4 quarters if we're going to beat them.
Allen Iverson back out there after missing 14 games. Any adjustments you guys can imagine for the second half to slow him down?
Well, he's a tough player. You know, he's going to come out here and get his shots. We just got a number of his easy looks. Stop fouling him, putting him to the free throw line, let him get easy looks, and not let him get any easy baskets.
All right, good luck in the second half. Thanks. Back to you, Bob.
All right, Andrea, thanks very much. Allen Iverson with 17 to lead the Sixers in the first half. Philly trailing it by 6, 54-48. Now stay tuned for Ahmad Rashad and Tom Tolbert. They're in our New York studios for the halftime report. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC. Back in Boston, Mike Dunleavy, Bob Costas. Philadelphia trailing by 6. During the 4 minutes that Allen Iverson sat out, Boston outscored them 10-4. That's the exact difference in the game. Otherwise, it would be even.
Well, Iverson has had a tremendous first half, but Boston has had a tremendous half as a team as far as from an aggressive standpoint.
Iverson got to the free throw line 11 times, even though he wasn't taking the ball to the hoop with his usual frequency.
Well, he hasn't had to. You know, first of all, he's made jump shots and he's been fouled. He's been bailed out. I mean, he's had 1 drive to the basket, and yet he's been fouled 6 times. Been knocked down only once. You know, getting to the free throw line the number of times he has in this first half has been very, very big for them.
And the atmosphere here in Boston, as we expected, is a charged atmosphere. The Celtics have won 16 NBA titles, by far the most of any team, but they haven't won one in 16 years, and they haven't been in the playoffs at all since 1995. So people here have been ready for this.
Well, they've been very aggressive here today. They've been ready. They've been waiting for this, and they've been ready for it. I mean, they're taking the ball to the rim, whether Mutombo's there or not. They've done a good job of stretching them, but they've had control of the paint in this game so far, both offensively and defensively.
And Paul Pierce has shown us a little bit of everything in this first half. A first half which saw him lead all scorers with 19. Iverson with 17 for Philadelphia. 24 more minutes of regulation left. Back with it after this.
Back in Boston, where the Celtics lead by 6 at halftime. The Celtics coaching staff very pleased with the way they've kept the 76ers off the offensive boards. That, of course, has killed them in the past. They're happy with the tempo. They will like to push it up, though, push the pace up even more in the second half. Larry Brown, meantime, not happy about the 8 turnovers in the first half. He really feels that if they can play the pace that they played the last 3 minutes of the first half, they'll be okay. And he thinks the best way to slow down the the Celtics is to rebound the basketball a little bit better. Back to you guys.
Andrea, you're certainly right about that. The rebounds overall, 19 for Philly, 18 for Boston. In all 4 games, even the one they lost this year against the Celtics, all 4 games in the regular season, Philadelphia had a huge rebounding advantage. Not so here.
Well, they've been a very, very aggressive Boston team right here as far as the paint is concerned.
Walker missed the second half's first shot. Philadelphia with possession. Here's Mutombo. He turns with the hook, and it comes up short. Kenny Anderson playing with 3 fouls. Antoine Walker looked inside and had it stolen. They're booing Iverson. The second he touches the ball, he has no answer this time. Anderson with the lob to Petit, timing a bit off. Petit with the turnaround.
I'm not so sure how Coach O'Brien's would feel about that shot. That wasn't the one you draw up necessarily for Tony Petit.
Harpring. Philadelphia is within 4.
Harpring's given him a nice lift. He's hit a couple of open jump shots. He's been very physical down in the low post. He's having a nice ball game. Here's the matchup. They're going to try and attack the disadvantage Snow has size-wise with Williams in the paint.
A Philadelphia foul as Williams took it to the rack. And it's Eric Snow hit with his first.
Boston's been very efficient at the paint. I mean, at the free throw line today, shooting 12 of 13. Haven't got there as much as Philadelphia has, but I think they're going to try and close the gap here.
It rattles out for Williams, who's stuck on 7 points. He got all of them early in the first quarter. Seven-year veteran out of Providence makes the second one. Paul Pierce is on Eric Snow. Here's Mutombo. 8 on the shot clock. Snow for 3. Harpring flies in for the rebound. And with contact, he's coming to the foul line.
Now, that's what Harpring does very well. He's the 3rd best rebounder as a small forward position in the league, averaging about 7. Snow is not a great 3-point shooter. Doesn't even take that many, but you've got to put a body on Matt Harpring when you're on the floor guarding him.
The foul is on Eric Williams, his 3rd. Harpring was just about the only Sixer who went through the entire season in good health. The other 4 starters were sidelined with injuries for various stretches. In fact, they had their entire team together for only 3 regular season games this year.
And yesterday, the first time Larry Brown said all year long that he's had 12 players for practice.
One of 2, and again a 4-point game.
But having had him out that long, I don't know if these guys don't seem as rusty as you would think.
Williams, Snow on him, dumps it into Walker, guarded by Coleman. Little jump hook is short. Rebound Mutombo.
You know, Walker's tried a few post-ups, but the shots haven't looked very good today.
Iverson fades away from Anderson. Rebound Walker. Paul Pierce. He's got 21.
He does such a great job using that spin move. He clears himself away from the defenders and he gets a clean look just about every time.
Iverson missed it long. Coleman is the beneficiary as it bounced around and wound up in his hands. And an offensive foul on the Sixers. It's on Mutombo, his first.
You know, one of the few times, because of the offensive rebound, where Mutombo was not surrounded in the low post. Iverson delivers the ball, and Mutombo catches somebody with his elbow and gets called for the foul.
Here's Walker, who shot just 4 of 12 in this game. Pierce over Harpring. Out comes Philadelphia trailing by 6, and it's a bit too long for Harpring.
Yeah, that was a good look ahead by Snow. He just threw the ball a little bit too far. Harpring almost had a chance to get under that.
Walker from Anderson. Can't finish it, but Pierce can.
Well, what a soft touch he had up above the rim there.
23 for him now.
Walker's missed 3 shots that have been followed up for baskets. Guys have done a good job of following him to the rim.
Iverson with the turnaround. He's now missed his last 7. Mutombo was on the offensive glass. Sixers with another shot at him. Harpring makes it count.
You know, Allen Iverson has been forced the issue maybe a little bit too much for these 76ers right now. He may need to get try and get some of his guys involved.
From the baseline, Tony Battie is off with it, and there's a foul on the rebound. Derek Coleman's the guilty party, and it's his first. Pierce, catch and shoot, and he hits the 3.
Well, Philadelphia may have had a little miscommunication on that play. I think they thought they were going to switch it. Pierce was wide open after popping back off that screen.
Pierce has 26. The Celtic lead is built back up to 9. Vichy Eclipse. It's impossible to sneak around in. Are you in? By Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Cold, down, easy. And by Adidas Climacool, giving you 360 degrees of ventilation. Feel the breeze. Paul Pierce was a bit slow to get off the mark, but he's come on and he has 26 now, midway through the 3rd.
You walk in, the gym is packed again. You start to feel, you see the greats coming in, the Russells, the Kuzis. Tommy Heinsohn is there every game, and you start to feel like you're part of the tradition now. It's definitely something that's exciting, not only for me, for the team, organization, but for the town to get back to, playing at a certain level that this town has been spoiled with over the last, 20, 30 years that they've won championships, and it's definitely exciting for me.
It's nice to see Paul Pierce's appreciation of Celtic history before the game. Tremendous ovation as Bill Russell came in. Bob Cousy, Tom Heinsohn, JoJo White, and others.
Well, even the 76er players came over and shook hands with them. They were mesmerized, as well as the crowd.
And a Celtic steal as play resumes. Anderson underneath the Battie.
And that was a great find. Kenny Anderson looked around. He said, "I don't have anybody guarding me. Where is he?" And Iverson was on Battie, so he threw the ball over the top to him.
Back to a double-digit lead, matching their biggest at 11. Harpring back taps it. Iverson has it. Harpring. And Williams chases it down for Boston. Cooling off a bit. Mutombo the rebound.
One of the few open court opportunities Philadelphia's had.
Boos for Iverson on every touch. And a Philly turnover.
Mutombo looked like he was nailed to the ground on that. The pass came over the top. He couldn't move for it. He's saying he was held. See right here, Mutombo's going to cross the middle. He wants to go for it, but his arm's locked up. He can't jump.
Sixers didn't get the call. Celtic ball. Here's Walker in traffic, and it drops for him.
That was ugly, but it was effective. He's just flipping balls up right now. He got a soft roll that time.
Walker's shot selection has never been textbook. Iverson on the run. 0 for his last 8. Coleman trying to follow, and a foul. And a little heat out there as well.
You know, the only part of Iverson's game that I think might be a little bit rusty are his little runners once he gets into the paint. Everything is kind of going off his hand a little bit sideways, and you're getting these in and outs instead of the ball going down with that soft touch that he normally has.
Well, with 7 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the second quarter, let's watch this again and see where the hard feelings came from. Double technicals have been called. Battie and Coleman. No shots taken. Coleman will take his 2 shots as a result of the original foul. Started to say that with 7:14 to play in the second quarter, Allen Iverson had 17 points. He's still at 17 and hasn't scored in his last 14 minutes of game action. In fact, he has just 2 points since the first quarter.
Well, you know, you never know if fatigue comes into play here. Conditioning comes into play. You start off, you're feeling great, and you've got a lot of spring in your step, and you're shooting your jump shots, and all of a sudden, as the minutes start wearing you down, your ability to make shots from range decreases. That's why it's probably important for him to get to the rim, get a few layups to get his focus back, get his confidence back.
1 of 2 for Coleman. Celtics with the ball and a 12-point lead. Pierce looking for Rogers. They lose it. Iverson. Contact will bring him to the foul line.
You know, he did a really good job there. You know, he knows he hasn't finished. The last couple of times he went to the hole, he could have shot that ball early, or he could have taken the contact, and he takes the contact here, so he knows he's going to get to the line, and he figures if he can make the shot afterwards, he'll take the little icing on the cake if he can.
Still can't get off 17, and 15 of those, as you saw on the graphic, came in the first quarter when he looked like the old Iverson.
It doesn't take much for a scorer, because he's only going to remember that last shot he took and that one he made.
As long as he's on the floor, self-doubt doesn't come into play with Allen Iverson.
Well, you know, and I think for Larry Brown it doesn't come in either, as long as he defends well, which he's put a good effort out on the defensive end of the floor today.
Sixers back off the Rodney Rogers miss. Iverson. Back up top to Coleman. Good look at a 3. He overshot it. Anderson wins the rebound battle. They find Rogers deep.
That was a great pass by Pierce. He saw them switch the pick and roll to Rodney Rogers. Had a little guard on him in the paint. He threw it up high where the only person who could get it would be Rogers, and he got a nice finish.
Boston by 13. Here's Snow slicing through. Down he goes. And a Boston foul. It's on McCarty, his third.
Now here's the pick and roll. They get the switch. You see the Pierce throws the ball up high where Rogers is the only guy that can catch it and does a nice job of going straight up and finishing right at the rim.
Number 20, Eric Snell at the line. He'll shoot 2.
Tony Battie coming back in for the Celts. Antoine Walker out. Celtics may be able to win this first game without a significant contribution from Walker offensively, at least not his usual contribution.
I think the other thing Jimmy O'Brien is thinking here with Mutombo out, no sense in having both of my shooters, long-range shooters at 4 and 5 on the floor. You want to save that for when Mutombo's in the game.
Here's Rodney Rogers, head fake. Gives it back up to Anderson. Rogers spinning, gets off the shot, but Coleman got a piece of it. And Snow comes out of the pack. Iverson for 3. And the rebound taken by McCarty. But Boston loses it, and back comes Aaron McKee.
This is where they need to get Iverson the ball.
Exchange of turnovers into the hands of Anderson. Ahead of the field for Pierce, and he's stripped by McKee. Now it's Snow. Iverson, who's missed his last 9 field goal attempts. Boos raining down on him. That doesn't discourage him. But a turnover and a timeout asked for by Battie as he hits the floor with the ball.
You know, a couple of times that Philadelphia's come down in transition in the last couple of possessions, they need to get Iverson the ball when he can be on attack mode, only 3 guys in a half court. That's where he uses his ability to slither between defenders and score.
2:02 to play in the third, and the Celtic lead is During the timeout moments ago, we listened in on Larry Brown on the Philadelphia bench.
We got to guard, and we got to be unselfish. And by that, that's running our play. We got to get this thing straight. This isn't the way we play. We haven't taken 5 good shots this goddamn quarter.
Well, Larry obviously upset with them, but in the half-court game, you've seen that they've been slow to move the basketball. Guys have held the ball a little bit too long, and they haven't gotten great shots.
Boston manages to get it to the front court. Rodney Rogers takes it to the rim, and there to finish is Walter McCarty. He makes his minutes count, doesn't he?
He sure has played with a lot of energy, and he's done a great job of following the misses, getting Boston some offensive rebounds.
And they're up by 13 again. Harpring, rejected. Here comes Walker. Doak on the wing, and he loses it.
All right, Iverson needs to make this play. He's got a 2-on-1. They've got to score here.
He finds Harpring, and Harpring banks it home. Pierce slides past his man, and it rattles out. Inside a minute now to play in the third. Boston by 11. Harpring from Snow. Mutombo. Harpring. Nothing. Rebound Walker.
There was a lot of contact in the paint that time.
Rogers, good look at it.
And that's why they made that trade right there.
His three-pointer puts the Celtics up by 14.
You notice they have both their bigs in the game, so Mutombo has to guard somebody who's got three-point range.
Game clock overlapping the shot clock by about 6 seconds. It's Eric Snow. Rogers saves it in. They've got 8 seconds for the last shot. But Walker lost it. Less than a second. And Boston will have to be content with a 14-point lead after 3. The Celtics, the number 3 seed, dropped 3 of 4 during the regular season to the 6th-seeded 76ers. They lead this one by 14.
Reproduction, rebroadcast, or other dissemination or use of this telecast, or of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
16 championship banners hang in Boston. Too many retired numbers to count. 11 of those 16 championships came during the 13 seasons when Bill Russell led this team. He's in the Fleet Center today, and he's with Andrea Joyce.
11 NBA championships in 13 seasons for Bill Russell. You were such a part of some of those classic clashes between Boston and Philadelphia. As you watch these two teams facing off in the playoffs here today, what kind of memories does it bring back for you?
Well, they were always tough. Philadelphia, we always had to go through them to get to the championship. So, same thing this year.
You are an official consultant for the Celtics. This team does not have a whole lot of playoff experience. What did you tell these guys to help them get ready for today?
This is when the fun begins. I know one thing I noticed the first half is that Allen Iverson hurt us particularly, not with his scoring, but when he got Kenny Anderson in foul trouble, then Anthony Walker has to bring the ball up, and we would rather have Kenny bringing the ball up. So that changed the whole game plan, but it's fun to watch.
Do you get the sense that these guys maybe have more of a sense of history, more appreciation, and are inspired more because of your presence and because of the presence of some of the other former Celtic greats?
I think it helps because Cousy and Heinsohn and myself, we really like these kids, and the kind of boost we try to give them is psychological more than anything else.
And I know you don't like to not watch the games. We'll let you get back to it. Thanks so much. Back to you, Bob.
Andrea, thanks. An exchange of misses. Philadelphia back with the ball, but facing an uphill climb. They trail by 14.
Well, Philadelphia's changed their guard core here.
They got Speedy Claxton in and Aaron McKee playing in the backcourt. And as Paul Pierce comes away with the loose ball, there's a Philadelphia foul. It'll be on Claxton, his third. The basket drew cheers, but came long after the whistle. Iverson sitting. He's missed his last 9 shots. His backcourt mate, the usually reliable Eric Snow, has missed his last 7 shots. So 0 for their last 16 combined.
So therefore, a natural changing of the guard.
Well said, Mike. Very nice. You could be a headline writer. Pierce. Now Walker in 3-point territory with the veteran Derek McKee on him, and he hits the 3 over him.
Now I love the part where he points to somebody else for the misdirection first and then drains the 3.
Derek McKee's been around too long to fall for that, hasn't he? 15 years in the league. Shouldn't bite on that. Speedy Claxton. That's his first basket.
Now, Speedy Claxton's played well during the year, but not usually when Iverson has been with the team because of the minutes that Iverson normally gets per game.
Pierce with the turnaround. And Mutombo with the rebound. Exactly 10 minutes left. Philadelphia down by 15. Aaron McKee, wide open 3. And the rebound to Tony Delk. Walker.
Well, he has just not been able to finish around the rim even when he's gotten good shots.
How about this one? Well, he was fouled by Mutombo. And he took a shot on that left thumb. He was holding it a bit after the contact.
I don't think his mind, he had any question about making the basket. He was trying to make the contact. He went right to Mutombo's body, and there was some contact on his hand right there.
It's a 20-second timeout, 9:31 to play in the game, and the Celtics up 76-61. The second game of this series isn't until Thursday night. The games are widely spaced in the first round in the best of fives, mostly for television purposes. Larry Brown and his team will go back to Philadelphia after the game, and they won't return here till, I believe, Tuesday night, then practice here Wednesday and play Thursday. The NBA playoffs continue tonight at 8 Eastern on TNT. The Raptors, winners of 12 of their last 14, travel to the Palace of Auburn Hills to face the Central Division champion Pistons. Coverage begins tonight at 8 Eastern on TNT. And 2 more games today on NBC.
The thing you hate as a coach is the spread between the 2 games from Sunday to Thursday. And particularly if you're the coach of the losing team, because you're just dying to play your next game.
So they play game 2 here Thursday. Then they don't play game 3 until Sunday in Philadelphia. So only 1 game in the space of a week, Sunday to Sunday in this series. A 16-point difference. And Antoine Walker with the foul as he sends Speedy Claxton to the floor.
Again, Boston's really aggressive in their pick and roll coverage. They're trapping everybody who comes off, and the Bigs do a good job of jumping out. Walker, who's known to go for steals, he's thinking more about steal as opposed to containment on that play.
Aaron McKee gets into the paint and scores.
Does a great job of getting back under control once he beat his man off the dribble to get a nice finish. Interesting way Philly has gone with their lineup. They put McKee, took Mutombo off Rogers and put McKee on him. Have Mutombo guarding McCarty. Trying to find the answer for that long 3-point range shooters.
Philadelphia will have it following the timeout and facing a 14-point deficit. Get life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. By Wendy's 99-cent crispy chicken nuggets. It's better here. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. It's in the NBA. Is it in you?
Well, you know, the big pressure point here today has been Rodney Rogers' 3-point shooting ability with Mutombo on him. He's been able to keep Mutombo away from the paint where he wants to be in the block shots. You get a Walker with the score right here. You get Pierce to be able to make a spin move and get to the rim. And all because of Rogers' ability to stretch the defense. Larry Brown is going to counter this now by putting Mutombo on McCarty and putting Derek McKee on Rodney Rogers. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
So it isn't just the points that Rogers scores. He has 7. It's what he does to the interior defense of the 76ers.
You're exactly right. It does not show up in the box score what he's doing for this team today.
The whistle at the other end. Meanwhile, the question, is it realistic to think Philadelphia can make a move in the last 8 minutes plus of a game? They trail by 14 on the road with Allen Iverson a non-factor. Red hot first quarter, 15 points. He hasn't made a basket from the field since the first quarter.
Well, and the fact is that they're not a high-scoring team. They're not going to be putting many more points on the board.
Mutombo tried to find McKee, but a 3-second violation. And a Philadelphia steal. Turnovers galore in this game. Fast pace, up and down. Speedy Claxton hits the jumper. Claxton is still technically a rookie. He missed all of last year with a torn ACL. That would have been his rookie year on a posture. So this is the first season in which he's actually seen game action during the regular season.
Philly knows that they have to turn up their defense and force turnovers right now. But there's McCarty with the answer. He's sitting in the dead corner with Mutombo trying to protect the paint, and Celtics did a good job of finding him there.
And the lead is pumped back up to 14. Harpring with daylight. Shot it too long. Speedy Claxton shows some speed, running it down. Here's Mutombo.
Claxton did a great job there of hustling and coming up and stealing the ball from Rogers. But Kenny Anderson's got to do a better job of boxing Claxton out.
McCarty snaps it to the corner. Kenny Anderson, fancy dribbling. McCarty's free for three.
Oh, what a great rebound by Pierce. He got a running start and came up over two 76er players.
The edge and energy now belongs to the Celtics. That's pretty obvious. Here's McCarty. He was fouled. He hits the reverse.
It's a great play by Rogers. He had the point guard on him in the low post. Mutombo had to come help. He waited for McCarty to run all the way from the corner to get to the rim and makes a great pass and a great play.
And a chance for a three-point play.
McCarty has given him some real strong play today.
McCarty, whose average for the season is 3.8 points per game, stands at the foul line looking for his 14th point of this game. Iverson checks back in. Eric Snow also returns. Here is Snow on the move. He, like Iverson, way off in terms of his shooting touch. Antoine Walker is nailed with a foul. That's his third. So Snow is going to shoot a couple. Harpring out. Aaron McKee back in. For the game, Allen Iverson is now 4 of 14, and Eric Snow is 2 for 11. A combined 6 for 25.
Taking into consideration that Iverson made all his shots early. What has that been after the first quarter?
Coming to NBC in 2 weeks on Saturday, May 4th, the Visa Triple Crown kicks off with the Kentucky Derby. Harlan's Holiday being touted as the early favorite, but only once since 1979 has the top choice claimed victory in the run for the Roses. Don't miss a wide open Kentucky Derby coming to NBC in 2 weeks. Can you name that one favorite to come through and win the Derby since 1979?
Got me.
Obviously, you didn't have a ticket stub with his name on it. Tuziachi Pegasus a couple of years ago.
The only guys who know anything about basketball who had a ticket stub for that are the guys that played at Kentucky.
Right. Well, a few of them here today. Antoine Walker, Walter McCarty, Tony Delt. Jim O'Brien was a Patino assistant there.
Number 8, Antoine Walker at the line. He'll shoot 2.
2 shots for Walker with his team up by 13. 6:28 remaining. Tony Delt, former Wildcat. Here's Snow, rejected, and emphatically so by Pierce.
This guy is playing such an all-around game today. It is unbelievable. Block shots, rebounds, points in the paint, three-point shots, steals. He's got the total package.
Iverson looking for Coleman. It's stolen. Ahead to Walker against McKee. He lays it in. Philadelphia stops the clock, but it doesn't look like they can stop the bleeding. They trail by 6
points as the Mavericks and Timberwolves meet in game one. Mike Breen on hand, the key matchup, the point guard. Chauncey Billups now starting for the Timberwolves because Terrell Brandon out for the season with an injury. Their opponent, Steve Nash, an all-star coming off the best season of his career. The scoreboard keeper will get a workout. Game one coming up next. Now back to Bob in Boston.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Paul Pierce and the Celtics up by 16. Dallas is an interesting team. Speaking of the game Mike Breen is going to call in a few minutes here on NBC. Very interesting team coming into these playoffs. It's a 4-5 matchup, but Minnesota has not played well in the second half of the season. You have to like Dallas's chances. And the bracket would then send them against Sacramento in all likelihood. And they're one of the few teams that's done well against the Kings, who had the best overall record in the league this year. Dallas won 3 out of 4, including both games at Arco Arena, where the Sac Kings are close to unbeatable. So that could be a very interesting second-round matchup if Dallas gets past Minnesota.
Well, I really like Dallas's positioning for this playoff run. Two teams that they can beat, and to get to the Western Conference Finals, where you think you may see the Lakers or the San Antonio Spurs, who they are 1-3 against. So if you're going to meet those teams, you're better off meeting them in the finals of the West.
Paul Pierce picked up his 4th foul. Derek Coleman couldn't convert the first free throw. Has the second. But Philadelphia trails by 15. Kenny Anderson against some pressure, gets it across.
Philly's playing with their real small lineup, most mobile lineup right now.
Walker against McKee, follows his own shot home. Eric Snow and a whistle. Foul on Walter McCarty is 4th.
Here's Walker attacking Derek McKee. He's an excellent defender. Gets him off balance, but he's a quicker jump and gets the ball back to the offensive rebounding score.
And Walker, although he hasn't shot the ball all that well today, has 20 points. You can't miss free throws if you're hoping to mount a comeback.
And Philadelphia usually doesn't. They're one of the better free throw shooting teams in the league.
Pressure in the backcourt again. Anderson gets out of it with the flip to Walker.
Well, that's the one thing about Walker's game that is special in that regard. If you're going to trap in the backcourt, he's a very, very good ball handler and passer. It's hard to take advantage of the Celtics in that regard.
Iverson pumps up a 3, and it comes up short for him. He still has not made a field goal since the last minute of the first quarter. Paul Pierce. Nice move, but an awkward finish.
It's a $100 move and a $2 shot.
And awkward is not a word often attached to Paul Pierce. He's such a graceful player. Eric Snow. He, like Iverson, completely off with his shot. McCarty thought about it, pulled it back in. Boston burns some clock. Rodney Rogers blocked from behind. Here's Snow, who's missed his last 9. Iverson's 0 for his last 10. And fouled on the drive.
It's interesting. He didn't get fouled on that shot. I'm not sure he had enough lift to finish it.
Yeah.
I think his legs are really come into play here after the first quarter.
Yeah, in truth, he had a clear path to finish that play. He didn't miss it because of the contact, because of the foul.
I don't think he did. I think you're exactly right there. I think he's just trying to, right now, Larry Brown's trying to let Iverson get in there, get his conditioning, find his legs, get ready for the next game.
Obviously, nothing perfectly simulates game action, and there's a question of being in rhythm and all the rest. But the injury is to his hand. He shouldn't have trouble with fatigue. He should be able to stay in shape in between missing 14 regular season games, right?
Well, Allen hasn't been one to be known for doing a lot of extra work, but in a building like this, with the energy coming out of it today in the playoffs, you use a lot of energy just up in adrenaline, you know, and getting prepared for the game period as much as you do physically.
And he had the big first quarter, but just about zipped since then. Pierce, another brilliant move. He has 28 now.
You know, he's likely to get to 30, and I think, you know, from the standpoint of guys in the league who scored over 30 points in a game, how many times during the year, he's like second in the league.
Speedy Claxton. It rattles out. Harpring, who gives you an effort on almost every possession, pulls in the offensive rebound, gets it back from McKee and hits the reverse.
A great pass by McKee, paying Harpring back for his hard effort on the boards.
Now, the sort of thing a coach likes to see, regardless of the outcome. You're out of the game, but you like to see hustle right till the final buzzer, especially in the playoffs.
You want your guys in the mindset of never giving up and always coming after it, and this 76er team has been known to do that.
Celtics turn it over. Timeout with 2:51 to play, and this one just about iced for Boston. They lead it by 14. A lot of factors in any game, but if you knew nothing about a given Sixers game and you saw that line, you'd pretty well guess the outcome.
Well, you know, Iverson had a great first quarter, but as you see right here on these clips, now one of the shots he's had since the first quarter has been an open shot. Every single one of these shots have been contested by one or two guys, and you know, he's not been able to get his rhythm, get his confidence, and it's going to be one of those things where if the 76ers are going to win this series, they need to figure out a way to get him open shots in the future games.
Well, if in fact he's suffering from a bit of fatigue because of the layoff, then in this case, the scheduling of the first round helps Philadelphia a little bit. Game 2 not until Thursday night.
Yeah, as long as he's clear to practice and he gets some good practice time in, you may see a different Allen Iverson through 48 the next ball game.
Antoine Walker. Pierce is there for the rebound. Walker's now 8 for 21 in the game. He scored 20 points. Now he wants to hold it and burn some clock. Pierce, he doesn't want to hold it. He wants the three, and he's got it.
Well, that whole possession, Paul Pierce, you know, he gets that offensive rebound between 4 76ers, brings the ball out, they reset, and just stick the dagger right in their heart.
He has 31 now. McKee through a crowd and swishes the high archer. Chance of MVP for Paul Pierce. He probably won't win it, but he'll be among the top vote getters.
Well, and he should. I mean, a team that's improved as much as Boston has this year, as well as a team like New Jersey with Jason Kidd.
A minute and a half left. Claxton kicked it, and it's still Boston ball. Walker, a three that's way off.
Unless stays consistent on the season series, he's shot the ball poorly against the Sixers.
Derek Coleman, a late and now meaningless three. Coleman has played very well for the Sixers this year, but when you look at him, you can't help but think of what might have been. He was tabbed for true greatness when he came out of Syracuse and has never fulfilled his maximum potential. Still a useful player, but never became the Hall of Fame player people thought he might have been.
Well, it's true. People look at him and just, he's got the total package. He rebounds, he defends, he handles it, he scores. There's nothing he can't do.
Here he is again for three. Can't make it 2 in a row. The Philadelphia 76ers have been held at 32 points in the second half. Celtics can't add to it as Pierce is off with the three, but it's all just playing out the string now. Matt Harpring scoring. So the final score will look a bit more respectable for the 76ers. They'll lose it by 10, and the Celtics take a 1-0 lead in the best-of-5 first-round series. Paul Pierce, 31 points, 11 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 block shots. That's what you call an all-round game, and we'll hear from him when we come back to the Fleet Center after this. First playoff game for Jim O'Brien as a head coach in the NBA is a victory. Paul Pierce had 31 points to lead all scorers. Here he is once again with Andrea Joyce.
All right, thanks, Bob. You guys had an amazing, aggressive day today for this first playoff game. You haven't had much success against the 76ers. They won 9 of the last 10. What was the difference today? How did you take them out of their rhythm?
We were real physical on defense. We didn't give them any easy baskets, limited their baskets in the paint, and we rebounded the ball well. And that was the key all through the game plan. We want to rebound well and get out and fast break ourselves.
Allen Iverson was on fire in the first quarter and then pretty much ineffective the rest of the way. You guys contested a lot of his shots, but did you get the sense that he just had no legs out there?
Well, you know, he's a player with a lot of heart, and you know, he's going to be ready to bounce back game too. We really did a great job at collapsing on him, keeping him out of the lane, and it was a great team effort. I mean, I'm proud of the way we played. We just got to keep it going.
First playoff game of your career. Is it what you expected physically and emotionally?
Oh, definitely. I love playing at a high level. I treat each and every game the same. I give it 110%, and I treat it like it's my last.
How important was it for you guys to set the tone for this first game?
Oh, very important. We got the home court advantage. You know, they've pounded us over the years, and we wanted to try to come out defensively and just set the tone. We knew we had a lot of offensive weapons to counteract them, but we wanted to set the tone defensively because that's where our bread and butter is.
So what do you guys do now to get ready for game 2 on Thursday?
Just do a lot of the same things. Control Iverson, make sure he doesn't get off to a big night, rebound the ball, and continue to do the things that we're doing. Fast break, play good, tough defense, and keep him out the lane.
Take a few minutes to enjoy this one, right?
Definitely.
All right, congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way. Back to you, Bob.
Andrea, thank you. Antoine Walker chipped in with 20. Walter McCarty, big contribution off the bench with 14. Allen Iverson had 20 points but missed his last 10 shots from the floor. So again, the final, Boston 92, Philadelphia 82, Boston with the 1-0 lead. For Mike Dunleavy and Andrea Joyce, I'm Bob Costas. We now join Mike Green, PJ Carlissimo, and Lewis Johnson in Dallas for the Timberwolves and the Mavericks.